Hey everybody, welcome back. For the first time in a while, I haven't been live on the channel in a long time, but I am joined by someone who goes live way too often. No, I'm just kidding.
Not way too often, but often.
Just kidding. Guys, welcome to another Bullion and Beyond. Sorry it's been a while. As you know, this is a show where me and Rob talk with you guys about gold, silver, and pretty much anything else that us and the chat decides to talk about. And tonight, of course, we do want to talk about silver and gold. In fact, the topic, as you guys can see, is gold sitting right at around $3,600 an ounce, and silver had pushed past 41. It's really close to it right now. Rob, what are your thoughts on what's going on with that? And I got a warning here, this stream. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Well, my thoughts are thank you. Like, I'm happy that it's going up, but at the same time, for somebody who likes to buy in bulk, it's a bummer that it's going up. But at the end of the day, who would have thunk how well, not only is it continue to rise, even if it's kind of slow, it hasn't had a retrace or it hasn't gone back or anything like that. It's actually been slowly increasing and not going in reverse at all. Because typically in the past, when we saw it jump a little bit, we would see kind of a retrace. It would sit there a little bit, then it would get some momentum again. It feels like it's just getting momentum on top of momentum. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, so, guys, I want to hear your questions in the chat, by the way, and we are going to get into it. Of course, RobFindsTreasure is a very experienced YouTuber and streamer, has been stacking for quite some time. I've been stacking for a couple of decades, and we've been talking about it on YouTube for close to a decade now. My channel started in 2017. Rob, when did yours start? Around then?
2017.
2017. So, that doesn't make us any more knowledgeable than anybody in the chat. Just this is something that we like to follow and talk about, and we love talking with you about it. But as far as what you said, Rob, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I kind of said this in a video. I think it feels a little bit different this time, and that's not to say that I'm predicting that silver will never go back down, and we'll talk about gold in a minute. But the reason it feels different this time is because last time it hit almost $50 an ounce in 2011. Granted, there was a lot going on, but it wasn't what we're seeing here with skyrocketing prices on everything. Just imagine what, you know, just think back 10 years. It doesn't even have to go back to 2011, 2012. Think back just 10 years, 2015. You know, how much cheaper the majority of things were outside of gasoline, which seems to have kind of subsided. In fact, we're having one of the cheapest gas Labor Days that we've had in a very long time. For the most part, everything's way more expensive. And I think it's very possible that this is just a reflection of not necessarily the value of the silver going up, but just silver doing what it's supposed to do, balancing out with the devaluation of the US dollar. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I mean, it's amazing to see. And if you look at silver's run, I guess really since August of 2022, it's been on a nice run. It's had runs similar to this from, I think, 09 to like 11 or 12, right around there. And then it fell. And it had a small run after 2020, what happened then, and then it fell within, I guess, a year and a half. So we've had, what is this, a nice 3-year slow climb. And I just hope we don't have a retrace right now, because I'm going to continue to stack. Of course, we've always preached dollar cost averaging, so I'm always buying when I can. But I haven't even looked at it yet, the gold to silver ratio, because typically when it's favorable for me, I will cash in some of my silver to complement the gold, since gold's typically not something I can afford to budget for a lot, to buy a lot of. I just try to budget as much as I can and get an ounce as I have play in my spending money. I don't like to buy fractional myself for gold with the premiums, but I do like to try to cash in some of my silver to.
Oh, you broke up there for a second. Cashing, hold on. Repeat what you said. Cashing some of your silver too.
When the gold to silver ratio is favorable and I can afford to move some silver for gold, since gold is typically not always in my monthly budget to buy some. I don't like to buy fractional. So I typically like to cash in some of my silver when the GSR is favorable.
Fair enough. So the GSR right now, Rob, is 87.34. I just checked it. Which, by the way, you know, back in April, early May, and we'll talk about the timing here in a minute. I did a video where I spoke with Mike from Mid-America Coins, and he had actually talked about a guy who brought in 40 ounces of gold and swapped it out for silver when the GSR was over 100 to 1. And I remember so many people got mad saying that was such a stupid decision. It certainly doesn't look stupid right now. Even with losing, you know, 4 to 5 ounces on the swap to and back, of silver, I mean, you're still going to look at pulling back 90, you're going to basically look at 92 to 1 where he swapped it out at 100 to 1. So I think that was pretty good. But yeah, the GSR definitely is getting low. Now it's not to a point where I feel like I would take my gold and swap it into silver. I think it needs to get tighter. Or I'm sorry, my silver and swap it into gold. I think it needs to get tighter than 87 to 1. But around 80 to 1 is when I really start to think, all right, maybe I need to start looking the other way. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I didn't say it because I knew you would have a better thought or more thoughts on it. But yeah, right around 80, when it gets to 80 and if it ever gets below 80, I will do an inventory of my silver and say, all right, what am I heavy on? Right now I'm heavy on Merc Dimes. If you missed I'm not trying to plug my last video, but I bought a lot of Merc Dimes and I'm heavy on those. So if silver were to get to under that 80 or around that 80 GSR ratio, I probably would take a bunch of those Merc Dimes and swap them in for some gold. That's what I would do. Yeah. Although I do love stacking dimes.
So it needs to be tighter than that for me. I really wouldn't start swapping until it gets down to like 70 to 1. Now, being at 80 to 1 may influence my decision a little bit more as to which one I buy when I go out to, turn my fiat into gold or silver. But to actually swap, I would need to tighten it up a little bit for me.
Yeah, that's why I said I would take inventory. If like right now, I've got so much of some things and not enough of other things that I would consider. And you got to remember, you got to store this stuff in a safe or in a safe space. And anytime I can get a good GSR swap and clear up space for different inventory, I look at that as well.
For sure. Now we have a couple of people chatting, and guys, thank you for being here. Please feel free to ask questions. We will try and answer them. I got a question for everyone though in the chat. Where would it be for you? Where would you decide to say, all right, I'm going to buy, or I'm going to swap some of my gold into silver or some of my silver into gold? Would you swap some of your gold into silver at 100 to 1, or would you swap some of your silver into gold at 50 to 1? I would love to know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I would love to know, because I'd have to get a lot tighter than 80 to 1 to do it. It would, like I'd already said, it would affect which one I choose to get, but it'd have to be tighter than that. Now, some people are talking about, so we had someone talking about in the chat that said something about you can still get a gallon of gas for a dime. You can in some places, because right now melt on 90% is close to $30, so $3 per dime. That said, there's not a whole lot of gas stations that take silver. That said, also, Rob, I didn't tell you this, and I did talk about it in one of my videos. So I actually had to get my car towed, my wife's car, right before we left for our vacation. I had to have my wife's car towed, and the tow truck driver, we got to talking, because I was riding the cab with him to take it off to the tire shop, and he did actually accept silver instead of cash for payment.
Oh, that's cool.
It was cool, and I did it, even though it probably wasn't the best deal. So I decided to do it at spot price, and how it worked out is he trusted me. So he let me pay like the difference. Like it was $38 an ounce, and I think the tow was like $120. So I told him I would give you 3 ounces of silver, then I gave him the difference in cash there, and then I went and got a couple ounces of silver and gave it to him. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah. I have not had that happen in my everyday life yet.
But it was at spot price though, so But I don't know. It was worth it. Like, listen, I would have probably been willing to take $1 hit or maybe $2, I don't know, just to be able to say I did that, because it's very rare you get to do a transaction in precious metals.
Yeah, it's very cool. By the way, Silver Seeker, I don't know if it matters, but on our screen, I'm looking at your mat, so I don't know if that matters.
Oh, it doesn't matter. They can see me. But
okay,
here
I know. I could see you on the stream. I just couldn't see you.
Yeah. You're good.
I see your hands once in a while. There you go.
There you go. Sorry. So, all right. So we asked the question. Chad has said, hold strong on silver myself, but probably 40 to 50 to 1. So between 40 and 50 to 1, Silver Jekyll would think about swapping. JB says, I wish I had enough to swap. Stack is too small. JB, listen, it doesn't matter how small it is. It's never too late to start. Obviously, we all wish we would have bought more back in the day. We wish we would have started sooner. I wish I would have, started sooner than I did or bought more back then. But anyway, it's never too late, man. So don't be too frustrated or discouraged. We have, which looks like a Russian name. I forgive me for not being able to say that. But 40 to 1 or less would be a swap. Audrey Appliance says same 40 to 1. Matt Winge says 50 to 60 to 1. So That's that's interesting. I think 50 to 1 is probably where I would really be like, ooh, ooh, I should move some of my silver into gold. I would really be tempted to just take. I think at 50 to 1 it would be hard. And I'm talking about my deep stack, guys, not not my light stack or my trade stack or whatever you want to call it, the stuff that I buy and sell with. But like my deep stack of silver, I would very much consider moving some of that into gold at 50 to 1. I really would. So K&M says, lost my nerve too early and dumped about 50 ounces of AG at 36.50. You're not the only one, Keen, and don't feel bad about that. There's nothing wrong with taking profits. I would assume that you probably had less than that in it. I could be wrong, but I assume that that's correct. And don't ever be upset about taking profits, because the truth is you never know. There's
never know.
Yeah, you never know. There's a lot of stuff I wish I would have done that, that or I would have done differently just because of how things worked out. But
yeah, I just brought up in my stream the other night. I said I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and you and I had talked, Seeker, and I finally said, you know what? I'm up considerably in my dollar cost averaging over 2 years buying crypto, and I was supposed to sell January 1st, would have made a big chunk of money. Then it dove, and I was like, I didn't sell, but then it climbed back up to where I was back to at January, and I said, I'm dumping it. And I dumped it all. I took the nice profit, and I bought myself some things I've been wanting to buy.
There you go.
I mean, it's never, if you made a profit, you didn't do bad no matter what. You can always look at what could have been or would have been, but if you made money on a transaction, you did good. Not everyone does. And
listen, and this brings up a good point, kind of. You talked about dumping crypto. Listen, there's like, you hear 50,000 stories from people to say, oh, I knew about it back in 2012 or 2013 Bitcoin, and if I would have bought it, I'd be a millionaire. No, you wouldn't. 99% of people, if you would have bought a bunch of Bitcoin when it was like, $5 a coin, and it got up to, $100, 99% of people would have sold, like, easily. Because you never know what's going to happen. They took their profit and they ran. Obviously, knowing what we know now, you would never have done that. But most people, and I'm talking myself included, like, because I knew about Bitcoin. I read the white paper back in like 2011, right? And for those of you who don't know, even though like I do YouTube now and I'm a silver and gold guy, my background, my degree is in IT. I was actually a network engineer, so I was into all that stuff. I remember doing it. And yes, I could have bought it back then and be like, oh man, if I would have bought it and believed in it, I'd be a millionaire. But the truth is, I, like most people, most likely would have sold well before it got to where it is. So, and a really good example of that is the last Bitcoin that I had, I sold when it hit 60. So, you know what I mean? It's, most people are not going to hold is kind of my point. We do have a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. We will get to super chats. We will prioritize them if you want to support the channel. Don't feel obligated to, though. It says, does cleaning junk silver impact its value? I have a short answer, but I'm going to let Rob answer that one.
Well, I answered it in the chat. I said, not if it's junk silver, not really, because at the end of the day, when you go cash in junk silver, they're going to give you a multiple times space of what your face value is regardless. They're not clicking through it to see if you have, a clean coin or a not clean coin. That's how it goes. Some places might weigh it overall, and cleaning it could technically remove some of the gunk, and over a big old bucket, maybe you took away a couple of grams or something. But at the end of the day, like I said, it doesn't really lower the value, but why clean it? And he said in the chat, because I like shiny silver. Well, to each their own. I mean, to me, why spend the time to do it to make it shiny? You're potentially even lowering the value just because by removing crud. If I cleaned 3,000 merc diamonds void of any grease or gunk, they're going to weigh less at the end of the day, and I might get less for them for somebody who weighs it based on weight and pays based on weight. So that's my 10 cents.
That's a really good point. The people paying based on weight, and there's not a lot of them, but the shops that pay based on weight, they're paying for the weight of that dirt too. So if you're wiping all that dirt away, I mean, you're wiping away the opportunity to just sell dirt for 30.
Well, and that's why I brought it up. It's like the same thing when you pan for gold and you have specimens that are in quartz and people want to break it up, and the specimens are worth more. Why break it out? And also, if there's other metals contained inside there, like copper or anything that's bonded to the gold, you don't want to break it apart and make the gold worth less. So it's the same concept. I mean, I know a few shops that pay based on weight. That's why I brought it up. If you clean it, it's going to weigh less. It will weigh a little less. I know it's not going to weigh less on 5 quarters, But if it's $1,000 face in quarters, it might weigh less. So
true that. So we have a question. I do want to say something though, guys. Hang out with us because we always do a small giveaway at the end of these. It's nothing major, but it will be silver. And I forgot to put it aside, so we will find something while we're going. We did get a question though. Where was it at? Oh my gosh, I was reading it and I lost it, and it was a good question. Oh, okay. So WTX Metal Detecting says, I wonder if silver hits 50 if those who bought a lot way back, I'm assuming you mean 2011, would cash out. Honestly, I think you're already seeing that. Like, even the people that, you know, bought in at like $48 in 2011, they see it. This is the first time they've seen it anywhere close to what they had in it. And I think they're worried it's going to happen again, and they're trying to get out of it now before it, you know, turns around. As I said earlier, I think silver, it's different this time. There's a lot of other factors that are affecting silver. I mean, the U.S. just named it a strategic metal, for God's sakes. Excuse me. You know, that's a big one.
Yep.
The increased demand in industry for silver is crazy, and it's exponential. As demand for EVs and everything else rises, you're going to see more silver demand, and that's the reason that the U.S. named it a strategic metal. I apologize, I'm looking around. There's a gnat flying around here. I'm so sorry. It's irritating the heck out of me. On top of that, the dollar just feels like it's not worth what it used to be anymore. And we talked about that earlier as well. I mean, look how much more a McDonald's meal is than it was 10 years ago. So I think there's a lot of reasons, and I said this in a video recently. You know, I will never say that I can predict the price of silver. In fact, I will tell you this. I think there's two types of people, Rob, that predict spot price and market prices, and that's the people who don't know, right? And the people who don't know they don't know. That's the two types. So, but
no, you're right.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't predict spot prices. And that's why I saw a comment in here. Hey, is $41 for silver too high to buy right now? Should I wait for the dust to settle before I start buying? Who knows? Right. I mean, maybe you'll look back in 2 years from now going, should have bought at 41. And that's why I always say, I mean, I wouldn't dump all of my available cash into $41 silver today, but you should have an allowance of what you can afford to spend minus your emergency money that you need. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't love the fiat dollar, but you do have to have some fiat dollars laying around to take care of everyday business. And so whatever you have available to dump into it that's safe for you, dump it in. And if you buy some at 41, some at 43, some at 45, and it drops to 30, and you buy some at 30 and then 32 and then 35, it's all going to average out. You should have, if you want to be super organized, have a spreadsheet for your deep stack of what you bought for it, at what price, and what its weight was or face value, and keep track of that. So at the end of the day, at any given point, you can run over to your deep stack and go, silver's at 41. I bought some at 45. I bought some at 26, but I averaged $33 per ounce. You're still $8 to the ounce to the good, and you know where you're at. If you don't want to know where you're at, then it can be a little bit scary about when to buy, but still incorporate dollar cost averaging, which is basically saying, my money that I can use, whether it's weekly, monthly, or whatever, I'm going to dump into coins, and or silver or gold, whatever it is. And through the long haul, through dollar cost averaging, I should still come out to the good, unless there's a huge, unless they found a big, huge deposit somewhere of silver and now it's inundated the market. It shouldn't collapse completely ever. So, yeah. Right.
I was going to finish that off, and I'm glad you said that, but I was going to finish that off. That being said, and the reason I brought up, you know, how weak the dollar looks right now and everything else is because even though I won't predict what the spot price of silver will be from day to day, I will say that I will be genuinely surprised if you ever see silver under $20 an ounce again, because it just doesn't make sense anymore. It just doesn't make sense anymore. You know what I mean?
Yep. Doesn't make sense anymore.
Right.
And, you know, we don't predict it, but some of the big banking organizations and the huge financial organizations, they think gold's going to be at 5,000 at the end of next year, and they think silver is going to be above 50. That's what they think. So if they think that could be a way to influence the market, maybe not. But at the end of the day, you know, I do like to read what everyone's thoughts are who think they know, like Silver Seeker said, they think they know, or they don't know that they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know, or they don't know that they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. Yeah. So anyway, at the end of the day, it's a nice bull run right now. If it can last another 6 months to a year, it will have done something it hasn't done in previous trends. It's already at the cusp of lasting longer in the bull run than it has the previous few times. but it doesn't mean that there's not a first for everything. So my silver dealer said, Rob, I'm inundated with silver. A lot of people are selling it right now because they feel like it's the top. But that's what he told me a month ago when silver was 38. And he told me it again when silver was 40. So we don't know where the top is. I don't mind it going up. If it drops, I'm buying again like I always do.
Absolutely. Here's a question. If silver goes over 50, what will happen to the price of, say, Eagles? Are people going to be willing to pay a higher price? Sales are already way down from the mint on the sales of Eagles. Good question. The reason that you're seeing premiums absolutely tank is part to do with how high the price is and the fact that everyone's selling, like we had said earlier, because of that. So that's a really good question. I don't know what's going to go on, but I will tell you that the U.S. Mint sells Silver Eagles to authorized distributors for $305 over spot. So you can't get them from the Mint. We're talking, by the way, for you guys that will say, oh, I can buy Eagles from the Mint. You can't. You can buy proof Eagles. You can buy W burnished Eagles. You can buy special release Eagles, but you cannot buy the BU Eagles that come in the tubes of 20 with the green lid and the green box. Those are only sold from the Mint to authorized distributors, and they have to buy them at $3.05 over spot price. So that's why a lot of people ask me, why is it that 2025 Eagles or current year Eagles are always more than, the older backdates? And here's why. Because a lot of those older backdate Eagles have already circulated around. So they've been bought by somebody and then resold to a shop, and the shop obviously paid less than 305 over for them, then spot prices went up. But the 25s or the brand new ones, next year in 26, I mean, they're going to come from the Mint at 305 over spot, and then those authorized distributors are going to put a premium on them over that so they can make money before it even gets to the coin shop, and then the coin shop's going to put a price over that as well, which is why you're seeing like $4.50, $5 an ounce over spot for brand new Eagles. So I doubt that you will see 26s come out of the gate from the US Mint, cheap, but for backdate Eagles that are floating around for a while, yeah, you could easily see shops selling them at under $3 an ounce over spot for Eagles. Absolutely. Because everyone's going to be selling. And that doesn't mean they should sell, but people are going to sell. They're going to worry that spot's going to go down. They're going to get out of some of the silver that, they're going to take profits. And like we had already said, it's not a bad thing to take some profits sometimes. So there are going to be people doing that. And you could absolutely see premiums drop even a little bit more than they already have. So there you go.
Nice.
Did you have anything to add? I kind of turned.
No, I am not as seasoned on bullion. Because it's not that I don't collect. I mean, I have a full ASE set from 86 to now, and I do have some of the other type of mint releases that I do like as well. And I do like to buy generic rounds for my deep stack, but I'm not a seasoned bullion guy. I'm more of a constitutional silver guy. And even my gold, what I have other than some things that I have bought for a good rate, most of my stuff's pre-33. I mean, I'm a numismatic guy. That's more of what I like buying for.
Fair enough. And that's good that, your expertise is more numismatics and mine is more in bullion. So we have kind of, someone from both sides of the train tracks there. Living the Dream says, trade ETFs, not physical. The LCS is the only one who benefits. If your goal is only, and I do mean only, to make more fiat currency, I agree. Most stackers don't stack silver for the purpose of making a profit. I'm not saying that doesn't mean they don't sell if they have the opportunity to turn a profit, but the majority of the time they're finding a way to get their money out of the dollar that isn't in, that's in something physical that they can hold in their hand that's been known to be money for 5,000 years. So, ETFs are great if your intent is to only make more fiat currency.
I saw a comment earlier, and this is another thing what's good about being a stacker, and it's okay to move your stack when you need to. Someone said they needed a transmission for the car, but because they've been stacking for so many years, they were able to move 80 ounces of what their stack was to pay for a transmission. Whereas if you didn't let's say you never bought that 80 ounces in silver ever, where would that money have gone anyway? Would it have gone to an extra Starbucks? Would it have gone to an extra ball game? Would it have gone to maybe a nice shirt or a pair of pants you want? I'm not saying those things aren't important. You got to feel good and get some of the things that make you happy. But when you put money into gold and silver, no matter what the spot price is really, you still have something like a savings account for another rainy day. And so that you would never have had otherwise, which is another reason It's another reason why. It's another reason why it's good to have some things like gold and silver in your stack that you can change into fiat should a rainy day or something happen that requires you to have money outside of what your means are.
Fair enough. What do you think is the better buy night route? Excuse me. What do you think is the better buy right now, gold or silver? This is asked by Gordon Eliades. What do you? Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
As of today's right now,
as
pricing?
of today's right now,
that's tough. I love silver because I can afford it. It's beautiful, comes in many shapes and sizes and different types of designs. And so for me, I'm more of today's prices still at silver. But that being said, we talked about earlier, I'm always keeping an eye out for a good deal on some numismatic gold. I'm still always looking for a way to transfer some of my excess silver into gold where possible. And so I love gold. It's not really in my budget as a monthly item. So I'm a silver guy, even at today's prices.
Fair enough.
As of right now.
So my position is this. Anything under 70 to 1, I'm gold, and that's your GSR. Anything over 70 to 1, I'm silver. So
yeah, the quicker way of saying what I said,
yeah,
probably basically
yeah.
a better way, but yeah.
So right now I'm still silver. All right, Peter Heavey says, Goldbacks. I've been seeing these advertised like crazy here in Florida. Florida's Goldbacks do look nice. Are they worth getting into? I'm going to let Rob talk about this as well, so I won't take up the whole conversation. Not a big fan of Goldbacks, but I do think they're beautiful. So I will not fault myself even for like getting one of each and collecting them because they are pretty. They are very gorgeous items. As far as stacking, you're paying twice spot price for gold. So no. Go ahead, Rob.
I can echo it.
Okay.
I have about 13 Goldbacks, different designs. I'm a collector by nature, obviously. So I like collecting them, but collecting them as an investment or a way to accentuate my stack for gold or anything, no. To me, the premiums are too high. I don't know if I wouldn't call them someone said scam. I don't know about a scam. I mean, at the end of the day, they're beautiful looking notes and they do have some gold in them. So I would definitely collect one of every design. Outside of that, they're not something I'm not going to go buy 1,000 of them unless I thought I could sell them. So they're a good resale tool. If somebody wanted to buy them and could get a good deal on a bunch of them and then resell them with their own extra premium, okay, then fine, make a few bucks. But they've never been something I've ever bought more than one of each of as I've seen them.
Fair enough. Lemon to the Dream, I'm way back. 517 is the messages I'm on, so I'm like 11 minutes back on chat. I apologize, guys. He says, network engineer, CNE. You mean CCNE? I did have my CCNE. Keep in mind, this is over 20 years ago now since I got out of the field. 2006 was the day I left my company, so it's been almost 20 years. But yes, wow. I had my Network Plus and my CCNE, and actually my A Plus for just hardware as well. But again, that was 20 years ago. I know nothing about modern technology. If I would look at it, my eyes would cross now. I know, trust me, it's so different.
And Seeker, I want to make one more thing. Someone said about the premiums on it. Remember, collectible stuff, you're going to pay of whatever the market value is. So like if I were to sell a collectible educational series note, I mean, you're going to pay a lot of premium on that one because it's a beautiful bill. So at the end of the day, premium can be defined as, if you're looking at Goldbacks as the premium on top of the gold value, yeah, there's a big premium. But there really isn't if you're buying them to collect them, like I said, not to stack them. So it is what it is.
All right. My chat, I just skipped ahead a bunch on chat. I'm sure I missed questions. Guys, if I missed a question, if I didn't answer it and you asked it, feel free to re-ask it. I apologize. It just like skipped me all the way to the front of the chat here. What's up, Mr. Leon Peters in the chat? What's up, good sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. There's a lot of people in here I haven't seen in a while. I don't go as live as often as I do. Let me say this. As far as going live, guys, I do apologize. I haven't been live on YouTube since May, which was the last time I did a YouTube auction, and the first time I'd been live, period, since then was last week on my first ever Whatnot stream. I'm trying to fix that. I'm trying to go live more on YouTube. Rob and I have been saying, man, we go back and forth all the time. Why haven't we done another one? Why haven't we done another one? People are asking us, when's the next Bullion and Beyond? That's why we're here tonight, because I do need to be live on more on YouTube. So I'm going to try and get back into the flow now that summer's kind of winding down. I'm not on the lake anymore. The big issue with the summertime is I go on the lake a lot. So weekends, I mean, I get my jet ski out. My father-in-law has a pontoon boat. We go hang out on the lake all day on the weekends, and just it's a good time. And it's hard to be like, you know what, or I could stay home and stream. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh yeah, no, I know it's
yeah.
tough. And I do want to make someone wrote it's nice to have collectible things as well. It's like if you ever watched the movie Conspiracy Theory, I think it was called, with Mel Gibson, and he had to buy the Catcher in the Rye book whenever he was in a place to buy a book. Well, for me, like I will buy any poured Engelhart 10-ounce bar with a serial number on it. Like I will bid that. Like I have to buy those. If I see them, I'm buying them no matter what. That's one of my weaknesses. And I know it's 10 ounces, but I have to buy those when I see them. So it's fun to have things that you want to buy and pay a premium on because you want them for your stack and you enjoy seeing them. It's not like I'm putting it in a book and into a safe and never looking at it. I look at those when I can because I like the feel of them, the look of them. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that point across.
For sure. And I don't disagree. I have many people that watch my channel for a while, especially when I stream more often, know I have a massive collection of things. Like anytime I've done an unboxing, like, you know, I'll buy like, you know, 5 or 6 of this or a roll of these. And, you know, sometimes I had some of those for my auctions or for my streams or whatever they may be. I keep one of everything. So if I bought a roll of something, you can be dang sure that I have one of those, you know, one of those still in my safe. And those 15 coin trays that pandas come in, I found out that most silver coins, you can put them in capsules and they fit in those. So I have trays full of different designs. You know?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ledriot Park says, if you had, and I apologize if I said that wrong, I'm so sorry. If you had a 2K monthly budget to spend on gold and silver, would you buy all silver or buy fractional gold and silver? What do you think, Rob? I know what I would answer here, but go ahead.
Well, I missed the first part of the question. I was reading chat.
Oh.
I thought you were answering it. Can you repeat the very first part?
He said, if you had a 2K monthly budget to spend on gold and silver, would you buy all silver or buy fractional gold and silver?
I kind of answered it earlier. I'm not a big fan of fractional gold. I'm not a fan of fractional silver, except for constitutional silver, which is already fractional. And it's recognized anywhere. I can take a silver dime to almost any country, a silver Roosevelt dime. And if I went into a silver shop there, they probably know what that is, and it's exchangeable. So if I had a 2K monthly budget and it had to be either all silver or fractional gold and silver, it would be silver. I just put it right into silver, not fractional anything. Unless you're counting constitutional dimes and quarters as fractional, then I would spend it on that as well.
Keep in mind, guys, as we answer these questions, neither of us are licensed financial advisors, so please.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like this is just our opinion, and it's an opinion only. It doesn't mean that we're right, you know. So
at all.
Yeah, at all. Definitely could be wrong. Could lose every dollar you have because, you know, you put all your money into silver. I don't know.
And look at it like this: people that bought fractional 1/10 ounce gold pieces on a monthly budget 5 years ago, and we're doing that every month for a couple of years, they're sitting pretty good right now, even with the premiums they paid for them. So yeah, I mean, to each their own. Whatever you're comfortable doing and whatever you enjoy doing and whatever you can afford to do. Comfortable, afford, and enjoy, all three of those kind of blended together. I think you do what's right for you.
Absolutely. Dan Moreno says, anyway, he says, new stacker here. If I have 15K, I think if you're Dan Marino, you have more than 15K in savings. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Still though.
Yeah. New stacker here. If I have 15K in savings, how much should I put in the metals? Keep in mind, I do need some fiat savings. So I'm not going to give you a number on that. What I will tell you is, and you said it in your comment, that you should never put yourself in financial hardship to stack metals, because if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to sell them, that sucks. Because let's say you did buy, let's say you're like, you know what, I'm going to go out and buy $15,000 worth of silver tomorrow, and you buy it and the spot's 41 and you pay $1.50 premium for rounds, whatever, you end up 42.50 in it, right? And then spot drops to 35 and you're in a car accident and you need money to cover, you know, deductibles or whatever it may be, right? You have to go to whatever it is, whatever you need the money for, you will be forced to sell that silver at an inopportune time. So I say this all the time in my videos where I'm just kind of, where I do the vlog video where I'm just talking about silver, and I always feel like a broken record because I'm repeating myself. But, you know, I get comments from people saying like, oh, if you think cash is so worthless, then why do you even accept cash? You know, I'm like, well, I don't think cash is worthless. It's very important that we all have cash, and it's very important that we have emergency funds set aside. So whatever you are comfortable putting into gold and silver, I would say do so, but don't put yourself in a situation where you're uncomfortable and you don't have money if something happens. So there you go. So, but I'm not paying $600 for a $330 1/10 ounce gold mercury. Oh, that's probably part of the conversation. So I have that set. I love that set.
I have that set. I finally completed. I got the Kennedy from Seeker. I just got the Mercury Dime recently. I already had the SLQ. So I got the set of all the different gold numismatic looking coins, the constitutional coins. And I did pay up on it. But again, I was comfortable doing it because I had waited years to do it and I wanted to do it. So if you can do it, I don't mind paying premiums once in a while when I can.
Didn't I sell you that Kennedy for basically melt and spot was only 3,200?
You did. I'm already up on that.
Well, my point is if you want your money back, just let me know.
No, I'm good with it. You gave me a good deal. You didn't have to, but you did.
I know. Jason Smith, and guys, if I don't see your question, feel free to re-ask it. I won't consider it spam. Just, don't do it every 2 seconds, right? Just if I don't respond for a couple of minutes, you see me answer a question that came after yours, repost it. No one's going to be upset about that. So Jason Smith says, hi, Silver Seeker. I've been stacking since about December or January, and I buy as an investment and only buy when I'm able, LOL. But should I decide to sell, not saying I will, when in your opinion is a good time? Jason, that would be me predicting the market, and I don't know. Unfortunately, I couldn't tell you that. There's been, like I had said, I sold the last Bitcoin that I had. I sold it when it hit 60, and obviously that was a mistake. Now, to be fair, I sold it and I put all of it into Tesla. I've not done it's not been a bad investment, but still, I don't have an answer for you there. So
I mean, I would never sell until you have two choices once you get to a certain age. With your 401k, you're not going to pull it out unless you absolutely have to until you retire, technically. Right. So that's one way to look at it. And you are dollar cost averaging right now. If you have a 401k, you're putting money into the market on a weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, however you get paid basis. When it comes to the gold and silver, once you get to a point in life where you're like, okay, I have two choices now. Am I going to pass this on to my children as an inheritance of something? Or am I going to celebrate the last years of my life and enjoy it and cash it all in because they don't care anyway? I mean, that's when you decide what you're going to do with it at the end of the day. I think that's where I'm at. I don't think my kids have any interest in my collectible coins, and so if I know when I get to a point that I have two choices: to sell it all and do something with the fiat money, or pass it on to another collector for a price and have them enjoy it for their long haul.
For sure. The first 1 million BTC has not ever entered the market. Oh yeah, from what's his dude? From Satoshi. Yeah, I know. Well, it'd be interesting to see what happens if those 1 million moved. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, here's one. I bought BTC at 500 and at 500 gave to friends and family. They all lost the keys. Oh man, I wonder how much Bitcoin out there is just not recoverable at all. I know it's a lot. Yep.
Number 2 for you, Silver Jackal. Yeah, that's for me too. I am in another 14 years when I hit 65. I'm going to decide at that point, do I pull out my 401k, cash out all my gold and silver, and then decide to do something like travel for the next decade of my life until my end of days. I mean, I don't know. That's for me, that's probably where I'll end up being. Because like I said, my kids have no interest in coins other than walking in my room and look around and go, oh, this is a cool looking room. I mean, that's about all they give me. So yeah.
So here's one, Rob. This one's more on the technical side. Silver Whisperer says, if the Feds cut rates, how will it affect precious metal? Generally, like, rate cuts are favorable for gold and silver. That being said, it seems lately, and when I say lately, I mean the last year or two, it seems like the adjustments are already kind of baked in. Like, people expect it to happen, and you see the moves happen before the announcement happens. And if if what's expected to happen doesn't happen, then you see, you see it go the other way. So, for example, if people are expecting rate cuts and silver starts to move up as a result, and then the rate cuts don't happen, you'll see silver drop. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
That's at least how it's been. But there's really, again, no true way to know. But generally rate cuts are favorable for gold and silver. Generally.
Yep.
Never any guarantee. Man, dude, what was this? Best least
strategy. Derek Barton, strategy on repositioning out of 100 ounce silver bars. I'm not a fan of those. Tough to move. You basically, if you're lucky, might get melt for them. Usually it's 5% under or 10% under from my experience. So, and because you can buy them at melt if you're going to buy them. So I'm not a fan of big bars like that.
Today you're not getting melt for bars, even if you sold them directly.
Correct.
Unfortunately, it's just the fact. And I say this, like, I do videos, I show my kilo collection all the time, and I'm very clear that anything over 10 ounce bars is probably not the best thing to get into. I collect kilos because I like the way they look and feel. It's like that size for me that's like, it's not a 100 ounce bar, which is too much, but it's also kind of cool, to have a big bar at the same time. But even kilos are really tough. Like anything over 10 ounces, it's just tough to move. It's so much weight, in one little spot. And, for that reason, people generally don't like to buy them. And Silver Jackal right here said 5 to 10 ounces is the size limit for me generally. So, yeah.
10 ounces Englehards are my desire. But I also don't love 1 ounce coins as much. I do like them a little meatier, but 10 is my max as well. I have no silver over 10 ounces besides a few hand pours that I did that might be 13 or 14 ounces.
Again, the reason I have the kilos I have is because I like them. It's on it's on the collector side of things.
Yep.
So if I see a really nice kilo I like, if I see a Johnson Matthey kilo, 4 of my kilos are Johnson Mattheys, I generally like, oh, I really want that, and then sometimes I buy it. You know what I mean? So yeah. So, but yeah, it's tough to move. Now, as far as the strategy for moving them, if you really want to convert them into like, smaller stuff like 10 ounce bars, 1 ounce rounds, I mean, see if somebody, locally wants to make a trade with you, and make sure you meet them somewhere publicly. Don't obviously meet someone in a back alley, but you get the idea. And if not, call around coin shops and see, what the difference would be. But I'll promise you're going to lose a number of ounces. Even the 10 ounce bars, you're not going to have a single shop say, yeah, I'll give you 10 ounce bars. They're not going to do it. You might lose 5-6 ounces just trading them at a shop. So
yeah, you're
going to lose. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's true. Unless you can find someone that's willing to do it.
What about buying Devil Forge, put it inside there, and hand pour some silver bars of your own?
I mean, that could work.
I have art bars instead of a big old bar.
Yeah. What's the highest price for silver the next 10 years? I have no clue, man. I don't know. What percentage of your stack of silver is premium silver? More of my silver is generic than premium. I collect premium. I stack generic. So, I have a really nice coin. I'll put one of those aside. And I've said this before. If I go out, like I've bought, I'm not going to lie, I've bought, and this is back when silver was under 30, like, mid 20s and even in the teens back in 2017, 2018. I've bought $50 to $100 an ounce silver coins. Like I have them. But when I do that, I would also be like, all right, if I'm going to buy this $100 an ounce coin, and it's not even 1 ounce, it's like 2 or 3 ounces. It's like, wow, I'm going to pay $300 for 3 ounces of silver. This is stupid. What am I doing? I DCA it. So I will also buy like 100 ounces of low premium rounds, and then I can take 103 ounces and divide it by my total cost, and then it doesn't feel so bad. You know what I mean?
You can do that.
Right. I mean, I still paid more, but it doesn't feel mentally it helps. So like, this is really stupid. Why am I doing this? As I do it, you know what I mean? So,
yep.
So, what about pre-33 gold? I love pre-33 gold. Rob, you want to talk to it though, because you love pre-33 as well.
I love. Do I consider it fractional? Yeah, it is fractional gold. I mean, it is fractional gold, but at the end of the day, to me, it's beautiful. There's limit. You're not going to get there wasn't a bazillion of them minted for a lot of those pieces. You have some of those pieces are in the thousands minted or the hundreds of thousands minted. I like those type of collectible pieces for not just the gold content, of course, but the history behind it, the fact that it's limited in its edition. There's a limited mintage of them. And, but yeah, I would consider it fractional. And I did say earlier, I don't like buying fractional gold, but I have a guy who will sell me that he doesn't sell me it at its numismatic or collectible value. He'll sell it to me at a percentage over spot of gold, which does have a premium, but it's fair enough that I'll buy it. And he doesn't care whether it's cleaned or not cleaned. And every once in a while, I'll grab some pieces in there that appear uncirculated. And I have a stack of some pre-33 gold that I'm thinking about submitting to get graded on now that I'm in the plus because of gold price. But yeah, I consider it fractional. I love it a lot. It's one of my, when I do buy gold, it's typically in $5 Liberties, or it's in $5 Indians. I love that weight, that size is affordable for me, and I just love how it looks and feels in my hand.
Yeah. I love pre-33. I really do.
Lots.
I have a couple of sets of like the 2010 5 2010 5 2.5 and 1s. Yep. Yeah, those I love them.
I don't have a ton of the double eagles.
I don't have a ton. I just have a couple sets, but they're so cool.
Like I'm taking a guess somewhere between 13 and 15 coins away from completing the Liberty set, $5 gold Liberty set.
Ooh, wow.
It's the toughest ones.
Yeah.
But one of these days, maybe I'll be able to do it. You know what I mean?
I would show you like some of my sets, but I don't keep most of my stuff here. But I don't know. Maybe I'll get them out next time and bring them for the show.
Yep.
What percentage should you have gold, silver? I mean, that's a you decision. I'm like 75-25 silver to gold.
That's probably about where that's really close. I mean, I might be 70-30 or 80-20, but I'm right. I know I'm right about there.
Yeah. Any strategy for moving proof and mint sets? I have around 80 of the 60 to 64 years. Well, at least they have silver in them. I think most of them 60 to 64 years. I mean, the mint sets are worth more because there's more coins in them, but I think most of those are pretty common, right?
Yeah, my strategy on those, my biggest strategy on those is I take a look at them. If I have any DCAM or deep cameo ones, then I know those I could sell for a premium. If I have any that have unsightly toning, I just move those out. I don't like to keep that kind of stuff in my safe. It takes up space. I could, how much more space I could use for other things. That being said, I have a hard time moving anything 1955 mint sets and earlier.
Yeah, I moved a bunch of early mints and proof sets at the show we were at in June.
You did, and I picked up two of those. I picked up a 58 and a 57 cardboard P&D set, like the ones you had.
Yeah.
I picked up those because I saw yours, and the toning is amazing in those cardboard pieces for those sets. They're tough to get. They're a couple $100 minimum all the time for those sets. But anyway, 55 and earlier, imagine having a 1936 first year issue proof set, Seeker.
Dude. Yeah.
One day.
Dan Biles says, Silver Seeker, your Whatnot maiden voyage was so fun to experience. How long did it take you to recover? And what are your thoughts about it after a week? All right, so if you guys don't know, I did do my first stream on Whatnot. Actually, I should give you an invite link just to... Hold on, let me get that. Hold on. And Rob, if you want to post yours, you're welcome to as well.
Only because Seeker and I are going back to back that day for fun.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. I wrote off the platform for 2 years, and I was wrong. It's a great platform. There are still the games on it. I'm not a big fan of the games. But I don't do those. And as long as you go to sellers that you trust, and there's a couple of really good ones on there that I've been following, over the last couple of weeks. As long as you're at the good sellers that are trustworthy, you'll be fine. I would say, in my opinion, stay away from the games like the people that do the wheel spins. Definitely stay away from those. I'm not a big fan, and I actually, unfortunately, and I'll tell you a story. I got tricked. It cost me $20. But I had went into a stream, and he had this little note on this. It was a handwritten note that says, "Please read show notes before bidding." But when I got into the stream, he had in his hand this like beautiful but artificially. It was very clearly artificially toned Morgan, but it was really pretty. And Morgans, they melt for like $32 right now, and it was at like $17, and bids were still going. and I bid 19 and I won. I won $19, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? How did I get this for $19? It melts for way more than that. And then he went and he did another one, and he was still showing the same coin on the screen. And it turns out he was doing one of those things where you get to buy into 1 of 5 slots, and then 4 of the people that bought in get a wheat cent, and the 5th person gets the Morgan that he's showing. So, needless to say, I paid $19 for a wheat cent, and I didn't know what I was doing until later. And what was crazy is his hand was blocking the little note card that's on the screen that says, please read the show notes. His hand was blocking it when he was showing the Morgan. So when I went into the stream, all I saw was a Morgan that was being bid on, and so I bid $19 on it, and I got a wheat cent for that, which apparently is on its way to me. So the games, I hate the games. I think they're a scam. I think people that get addicted or are attracted to gambling buy into that stuff. I was actually in a stream today that had 900 people in it, and it was all auctions, and it was great. He had some really nice stuff, like MS67 plus steel cents, like the whole PD&S set. He had still sealed GSA Morgan silver dollars, like it hadn't been opened yet, don't know what year it is. Like beautiful coins. He raided another streamer that was doing the wheel. 800 some odd people were raided into the stream, and within minutes it dropped to like 250 viewers. So I think most people on Whatnot don't like it. So that made me happy.
Oh, I'm not a mod anymore, Seeker. You'll have to.
Oh,
I don't think it lets me do it.
I can fix that. Hold on. Say something in the chat, Rob.
Huh?
Say something into the chat. Just say hello so I can make you a mod.
Oh, I got you. I just posted a link, but I guess you couldn't see it.
No, I can't see it. All right, here we go. I didn't make you a mod because it doesn't show your gray check mark if you do that.
Yeah, I know. You took care of me a while ago. Forgot about that.
But as far as the platform itself is concerned, I actually do enjoy it. I think it's a really good platform. I had a really good time. I'm going live again next Saturday. So the Saturday the 13th. I'm going live at 3. Rob's going live at 5, and I plan on rating his stream with my viewers. So after my stream, you go straight to Rob's. It's going to be a good time. But I will only be doing auctions. There will be no of the scammy wheel, game crap. So
giveaways.
And giveaways, of course. But I'm saying there won't be any of the scammy wheel stuff on my stream. It won't happen.
Me neither. I don't like doing that either, because I feel like if you're going to be on my stream, you should know what you're getting. I like to show it up close. There's no, maybe you could get this, but then 75-80% of the people are going to get something that's not even what they paid for. I just feel like that's scam.
No,
the only time I gamble is like today. I did buy a bunch of Powerball tickets, Seeker. It's over 2 billion. I had to. Last time it was over $1 billion. I didn't even win $1 back. But I'm doing it again because I never play. But when it's this big, I want to dream and be excited until it happens.
I don't play the lottery.
Me neither.
Listen, let me talk. Let me finish. I don't play the lottery. I think the lottery is a tax on people that can't do math. That said, I bought 1 ticket today, spent $2. And I justified it with my wife because I'm always harping on how the lottery is just a tax for people that can't do math. And she's like, really? Because I'm always harping on it. It's like, she's like, we should win the lottery. I'm like, yeah, we have to play to do that first. Anyway, I bought 1 ticket, and the only reason I bought it is because to me, it's worth $2 to dream for a minute about what it would be like, right?
Yeah.
But it's not worth 20. I didn't buy 10 tickets. I bought 1. I bought 1 $2 ticket, and I will lose, but it will be fun to have dreamt about it for a few minutes. So...
Silver Whisperer asked me in the chat, is it worth going to the banks and purchasing coins in hopes of finding junk silver or finding silver? Is it worth it? It's up to you. I have a channel. I can record the video of my finds. I can get a little bit of monetization back for my time that I spend. If I were to quit my job and say, I'm going to just do coin roll hunting and see if I can make money, no. At the end of every year, I do a silver jar analysis. It shows all the money I've made. I did it for 2020, 2021, every year. The most silver I ever found, and I hunt boxes upon boxes and rolls upon rolls, was like $8,000 in 1 year, not including the few times I've been super lucky and had a huge collection dump, like in May of 2019. I was handed at that time silver melt was 15 grand. I bought it all for like $1,200. So once in a while you get a score, but if you're just going to be a coin roll hunter, and even if you hunt as much as I do, you'll make 8 grand a year. Is that worth 40, 50 hours a week of roll hunting? No. But if you do it for fun and you're just doing it for fun, you will find, well, I can't promise, depends on your where you're at, but you could find some silver, and it's the thrill of the hunt more than the money that you would make otherwise, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Seeker when what? Oh, when is my stream? I think I said it already, but it's Saturday. Rick Rochest. It's next Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you hear, I'll put my link in again. If you go to my channel, if you're already a follower, just hit the bookmark on it. So actually, guys, if you don't mind, like, just go now and bookmark it. Like, click that link and it'll take you to my user page, and then go to shows and just click the little bookmark and bookmark it, because I will be live there next Saturday at 3 o'clock. So
I know it's Seeker's channel, but also
and bookmark his too, and bookmark Silver Jackals. He put his link in if you have. I don't mind.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, once every time Seeker and I do a Whatnot show, whoever goes first, we're just going to rate we're buds. Seeker and I are not just YouTubers. We have been good friends for several years now. And so, yeah, we try to support each other as much as possible. So I appreciate him.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's going on 2 hours after me. My show should be 2 hours. I'm just going to dump it right into Rob. So you go straight from mine to Rob's. And what's really cool, and this is what I love about, one of the things I found out I love about Whatnot, is when you rate another channel, it's not like, you have to spam the links and then hope people click it and go over. It literally dumps every viewer you have right into theirs, like magic. All of a sudden, you're just watching them. So... people had a lot of.
It's a good platform. It's a good platform, but you got to be smart, because you can get caught up in the fun of it all. I mean, just be smart.
Yep. What was it? People have a lot of scams online showing corn roll hunts. There are, I'm sure, fake corn roll hunt videos out there. I promise you that all of mine have been real, and I know Rob's have as well.
I will never sacrifice my integrity for a few clicks. It's not worth it, because. Yeah, I even tell Seeker once in a while, when I get a good collection up, I'm like, oh, great. Because inevitably there's going to be hate. I will always share what I find no matter what. I've posted a lot of videos that get no fines. I know what my views are going to be, whether it's a good video or a bad video. I'm not going to sacrifice my integrity and show you what's not possible. I'd rather you see what is possible. Now, that being said, occasionally, stuff happens. I opened a big box of nickels the other day, and it had 13 war nickels and 7 V nickels. And, when you get collection dumps like that, it's why we do it. Monetarily, the box was probably $15, $20 in profit. Not a big deal, but it was fun. And those happen, but they happen few and far between.
Yeah. Bill 457 just said, you pay taxes and whatnot. Be careful on delivery fee. Yeah. So I do a maximum $8 shipping. So it'd never be more than $8 on my stream. But if you only buy one item, it's only like $4. So taxes they have to collect. That's a state law. That's, the federal, the Wayfair decision back in 2018. There's nothing you can do to get around that. That's unfortunately, that's your states that are telling that they have to impose sales taxes. Now, that said, if you ever do get taxed, like let's say you're in Missouri and you get taxed on buying a silver coin on Whatnot, you're not supposed to be, so you can actually email them and they will refund it. And from what I hear from other people, I haven't had to do it. In fact, I've bought silver coins off of Whatnot and I wasn't taxed, come to think of it. So, because I'm in Missouri. But if it does happen, they will refund. What I hear is they will refund it very quickly. They don't mess around with it. So, just watch out for it, because the thing is if there is delivery fees can be an issue if you buy from like 7 different streamers in one night. Well, now you're paying, you know what I mean? But if you're just buying from one streamer, there's usually a maximum on how much you spend. I set mine at $8. So
I agree. You can be caught off guard a little bit with taxes and with delivery fees if you're buying from several different streams and having a good old time, and you can be a little bit caught off guard. But at the end of the day, you should already have a budget before you go onto a shopping site of any kind. And it's fun to buy stuff at the moment, but also know what you're looking for. Know what you're looking for. If you're looking for nice Morgans or upgraded Morgans for your collection, then that's what you should be focusing on. But again, I think it's a great platform. I think it's definitely a fun platform to be a part of, either as a buyer or a seller.
Yeah, I've actually bought 2 watches from Invicta now. I've bought a couple of coins already. In fact, this 2013 ASE right here, I bought. I just got it yesterday. We're on Whatnot too much. I didn't want to talk about Whatnot much tonight.
I know it's only been the last.
But it was brought up by a commenter, so I appreciate that. But one more thing, and then we're gonna move on. And actually, we're getting close to the end here. We're actually over an hour, but that's okay. It's been a while. One problem I'm seeing on Whatnot is if you're looking for numismatic stuff, most don't show long enough. Saw many clean coins presented with not mention of it. So Rob and I aren't going to do that. If I'm very clear, if there's a milk spot on one of my coins. Actually, during my last Whatnot, I noticed a milk spot on one of the coins, and I knew I had another one, so I went and got and swapped it out during the stream. So
yep. No, I showed the coin. If you watch my last Whatnot, I had the coins literally as close to the camera as if they were in front of your face. I am not trying to hide. I'm not zoomed out, showing them from far away, and then promising the world. I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to get. And if I do notice it, just like on my streams, I will replace it or do something different with it before it goes out.
Yep. But let's move on from that. We're gonna kind of wrap it up here. But I mean, we spent way more time on that topic than I wanted to, and I do apologize. That wasn't the purpose. I promise. So, I forget what we were talking about. I did post my link though again, for anyone that missed it. All right, what were we talking about before that? I guess we could probably wrap it up. I need to do a giveaway. So Rob, see if you can find a question that's not about Whatnot so we can move on from it. And I'm going to put a giveaway together. He's looking. He's looking.
I'm sorry, I'm looking, and I don't want to bring up coin roll hunting anymore. We've talked about that. But, one thing I did want to bring up, like someone had talked about it earlier, is my thoughts on copper still. And yeah, you know what? Copper is continuing to perform well. I mean, it's not a precious metal. It's not a precious metal, but it's still a metal that has and holds value. I mean, I know people who scavenge trash bins specifically just to find cable that has copper. For me, other than U.S. coins, I'll never melt the U.S. coins. I have lots of scrap copper. If we throw something away at our house and there's a cord, I'm pulling the copper out because I like to use my Devil Forge and melt that stuff into nice copper skulls and things like that. So I still like holding on to copper myself, but it's not a precious metal. I only get it for scrap and I only use it for art.
All right, I said 1 minute because you brought up copper and I thought of something I wanted to add to this giveaway. So we're gonna
best Franklins for me to hunt for are any of the full bell line ones, especially the San Francisco minted ones. Those go for a lot if you can cherry pick them, as well as any deep cameo proof Benjis prior to 1957, 56 and earlier, really 55 and earlier, but 56 is making a nice comeback. So I'll look at mint sets and see if I can find some proof sets that have deep cameo coins, especially 1956 and earlier. And those Benjis go for a ton when you get into the early 50s.
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you done with that topic though?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, cool. Because Indigone Demon said, and I've noticed this in June. Nobody was buying silver at the coin show today. Almost half were selling. Watched a guy drag 5 100-ounce bars to every table and couldn't get over 39. Boy, if someone offered me 39 an ounce for a 100-ounce bar, I'd almost be wanting to take it. Because you can find... So I know wholesalers right now selling 1-ounce rounds at spot right now. And 90% $1.25 back. So that's actually not horrible because that's like it's just under $2 an ounce back a spot. But if you can get, I mean, that would make it pretty simple to convert into rounds. It's still $200 off of the spot price though. So you'd be like yeah, you know what? Earlier I said it'd be about a 5-ounce swap. Yeah, there it is. 100-ounce bars are tough, man. I mean, we said that earlier. We were talking about 100-ounce bars. They were tough. But yeah, I believe it. So back in June, I had the exact same thing, exact same experience at the coin show in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Like, in a lot of the dealers that I talked to in that video, if you hadn't seen it yet, find it. It was back in June. The Tulsa coin show had said the exact same thing. You had way more sellers than buyers. And I think that's, again, because spot price is up so high, you have a lot of people that are just looking to get out of it, to take profits. And I know there's also a situation where there's a lot of people hurting right now, and they're selling for that reason as well. But you know, when I was at Mike in Mid-America Coin Shop last month, there was a guy who came in and sold a ton of silver, and I promise you it wasn't because he was hurting. This guy had plenty of money. He just saw silver price was high, wanted to get rid of a lot of it, so I think that's happening. 100-ounce bar equals 90 to 95 rounds. Just saying. Yeah. So if I could get 95 rounds, if I had a 100-ounce bar and I wanted to swap it into rounds, I would expect to get 95 ounces. So you're 100% right. That's right where it would be, I think. Mustang Dave says, I was the only one at an LCS today. Was weird. He said everyone came in yesterday and sold to them. I wonder what's going to happen with spot price tomorrow. I think people are worried. I mean, it almost hit $41 an ounce. I think people are worried you're going to see it drop. Maybe they just want to get out of it while they can. I don't know. But let me show you this giveaway. So I put a couple of things together. Let's see. 4 different items. Not a ton of silver, but there's silver in here. There's also... Do I really not have extra flips? What is happening here? Rob, are you still there?
I am. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat, and I had to... Somebody asked for a specific link to a Devil Forge, so I gave it to them.
Oh yeah, the Devil's Forge. So when I do melting, I do it in my garage with the garage door closed. So a Devil's Forge isn't going to work for me.
No, I have an electric furnace for my gold and silver, but when I do copper or something else, then I'll use the Devil Forge, and I put it outside my garage.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, Anthony Lumbelli, Seeker fan for 3 months. Thank you for that. I appreciate you being a channel member. That is awesome. Guys, if you're interested in my channel memberships, they do still exist. I actually am working on reworking the perks.
They still do exist.
Well, I'm actually working on redoing the perks since I don't do the auctions much anymore. And since we're going live again, I plan on making those perks matter a lot more, too. So, my plan is to be live on another Bullion and Beyond in 2 weeks on Rob's channel. But also, I might start... What I'm thinking about doing, because Bullion and Beyond's probably going to be mostly on Monday or Tuesday nights, depending on whose channel it's on. I think what's going to happen is if it's on my channel, it's going to be on Mondays. If it's on Rob's, it's going to be on Tuesdays. Is that what we discussed?
Yeah.
Right. Just because of what our video release schedule looks like. But I'm thinking about every other Saturday going live on Whatnot, and then every other Saturday going live like this on YouTube with a hangout and chat like this. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway.
And I go live every Wednesday and Friday, typically on YouTube as well. So.
Right. Here's what we have. So we have a 1 ounce copper Incuse Indian, a 1 ounce copper bullet, a 1/10 ounce silver buffalo, and a 1937 mercury dime. And it has some good meat to it. It is not a low quality mercury dime. It's got some toning on the back, but you can see it is not heavily worn. So we're going to give all of this away in one giveaway here in just a minute. And I got to think about how to do this, Rob, because I haven't done giveaways. Oh, we still have Nightbot, and Nightbot is in the chat, isn't it? Hold on.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that, Seeker.
Yeah, I forgot Nightbot is actually here listening and watching. All right.
That's a fun giveaway.
Yeah. Yeah, mercury dime's not in bad shape. A 10th ounce silver round, a couple ounces of copper, including one of these cool copper bullets. Heck yeah, let's do it. Okay. So we are going to do active chatters. Everyone is eligible. That's been here in the last 15 minutes. Yes, we will do a chat announcement. No luck modifiers. All right, cool. All right, guys, so how to enter this is just start talking. So we have 360 people here, so I expect the chat to be spammed. So just say hello, say hi, say something to let Nightbot know that you are here. And it is going to randomly pick somebody out of the chat as a winner of today's end of stream giveaway. So let's give it a minute. It's been a couple of minutes since I've done a YouTube giveaway for sure.
Seeker, I'm gonna say hi in the chat because if I win, I'm gonna eeny meeny miny mo someone.
Oh, okay, fair enough. There we go. There's the spam coming, dude. I've like that's so. I'll tell you. I don't want to get.
I know what you're gonna say. The delay, right?
I don't want to get back into Whatnot, but I'm not used to this delay because there is none. It's like like a quarter of a second over there, and I forgot that YouTube's like 7-8 minute delay or 7-8 second delay. All right, we have 107 entries, so keep spamming the chat, guys. If you haven't said anything, say something. Just don't say anything mean, so that it knows that you're here, so we can get a good amount of people in here to pick a winner. So this has been a nice break from working, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Love the channel, Silver Seeker, says Althea. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. That means a lot. It really does.
I didn't see any bad comments in the chat today. It looks like everyone was positive and having fun, which I like.
There was someone leaving stupid like comments earlier that Silver Jack will like banned immediately. Barry T for Silver, 31-month channel member, says great show for sure. Do it more often. I plan on it. Thank you so much. Gold to silver ratio right now is, didn't I say 87 to 1? I'd have to go back and look again.
Yeah, 87 to 1 is what you said.
87 to 1. Silver Whisperer, what's up? What's up? All right, guys, we are getting plenty of entries in. We're gonna give it one more minute, and then we're gonna pick it up, or then we're gonna pick the winner. I mean, bought Bitcoin at 247, sold at 2200. See, Rick, exactly what I was saying. It's like you wished you would have kept it, but you didn't know. You still took a profit, and there's nothing wrong with that. Hindsight's always 2020, and especially with cryptocurrency, especially that early in cryptocurrency, there was always a chance it was just going to go to zero, right? So, yes, 100%. I hope you banned Kyle Rish from the chat. What a child. What a child. Goodness gracious. Grow up, bro. Grow up. Good night. All right, so about 20 seconds and we're going to go. I'm not going to say what he said on the stream. Whatever.
Winner, chicken dinner. Nice. Bought him at 260 last week, and nice job, Eric. That's great.
That's a great grab. Holy smokes. Oh, I don't know. I'm still showing the camera. Shoot. I'm sorry, guys. We've been showing the camera.
I know. I was like, well, I can do whatever I want over here.
Yeah, shoot. Rob was changing shirts. Like he had his
my nose, maybe.
He had his bandana off. Bitcoin just looked like I'm still not a fan of Bitcoin, man, but it is what it is. To each their own. All right, let's do it. Here we go, guys. So in 3, 2, 1, and by the way, Nightbot will announce it into the chat. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Penny Scout. Penny Scout.
Nice. Penny Scout.
Yeah, congratulations. Let me write your name on this. Penny Scout. Just make sure you email me silverseeker@coolstacks.com, and we will get this on its way to you. Penny Scout, congratulations on.
Speaking of Penny Seeker, you should have showed one of those BUBIEs. BUBIEs.
Oh yeah. All right. So guys, listen, that is what we had for the night. I really enjoyed doing this.
Jason.
Seriously, I really enjoyed doing this. It was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Penny
we
Scouts.
say this every time, Seeker. We say how fun it was, and then we wait a little bit longer. We'll have one in 2 weeks on my channel.
Summer's over. I'm not going to the lake every Saturday anymore. So it's like I said, I get on my jet ski, and when you're on the lake, it's like, gee, would I rather be on the lake or sitting in my office with bright lights? And
there's nothing like my wife's favorite thing is a jet ski, and there's nothing like being on a jet ski on the water, feeling like you're going fast, feeling the wind in your face, the calm of you feel like you're living again.
Yep. Yeah, Penny Scott said, thank you so much. Are you kidding me? Yes, it is yours. Congratulations. So guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all being here, being subscribers. Make sure if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to Rob. Just search for Rob Finds Treasure if you don't know how to get there. It's pretty simple to find him. Big channel, so easy to find. Great guy. Once again, I'm going to post my Whatnot link one more time. I will be live next Saturday at 3 p.m. on Whatnot. Click that link, set the reminder on the stream, go to shows, hit the reminder, and Rob will be live at 5 p.m. next Saturday, so set his reminder as well.
I put it in the chat as well, Seeker. You let me, so.
And even if you miss Rob's, I'm gonna raid Rob's anyway, so you'll be dumped right into it anyway. So
yeah.
But guys, we will be going live on YouTube more often now that summer is over. You will see me much more often live, so I look forward to hanging out with you guys and chatting, and thank you so much for the support. You guys are awesome. Rob, do you want to say anything before we go?
Thank you very much for allowing me to be here, Seeker, and thank you, chat, for being kind and polite, and hopefully we had fun. It looks like we did.